April 1st, workout breakdown. So this is the first, obviously, day of not just April, but the new monthly emphasis, which is strength under fatigue. Probably about 70% of March, we really worked on the strength side. You guys saw a ton, whether you noticed it or not, of 6 to 8, 10 reps as like the cap. So you know the push to use slightly more aggressive weights than normal or just more consistently was the goal of March, and now we're going to take that and translate it and move it forward and put it under fatigue. So pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of fun things we can do throughout this month, which I'm pretty excited about in terms of the structures and the programming side. But basically, like fatigue yourself, focus on moving the same amount of weight at the same rep count as you were the prior month, or whatever is required for that rep count relative to the individual. So this is an Urban Legend Day, of course, which I'm going to go over last real quick. But I love the structure. So prior to this, on March 31st, there was a heavy running day. Again, in the world I live, I got to go out with the expectation that a ton of people are just not going to come that day because it's between Urban Legend days and they need a rest day, or they just see the running and they don't want to do it. So I'm not overly concerned about the volume of rowing that you're going to have on the 1st. If you show up to the 31st and the 1st, like great, like they're two different modalities. Like I love rowing. I think is superior in pretty much every facet to running. So I hope people come on April 1st, honestly, and March 31st. But rowing is incredible, and this is like a good opportunity for you guys to get some pretty serious volume right here. If you finish this 10 rounds listed on the left, it's 5,500 meters of rowing. Obviously, throughout the course of the entire class, it's not all at once, which makes it a lot easier to swallow. But you guys are gonna have 3 minutes to warm up. Really important. Everybody will get that because I want you guys to use the appropriate weights. And like we talked about, the strength month in March, we really hammer in 6 to 8 reps, 8 to 10 reps at the most. I would love for you guys to aim with a heavier weight in 8 reps here than a lighter weight and the 9 or 10 rep count range, given what we're trying to achieve. That being said, a lot of people are not going to be comfortable coming off of the rower and maybe going up a weight class to get to that 8, so they may stay a little bit lighter and stick to like that 10 rep count range, which is fine. Like if you don't feel comfortable with a particular movement, especially under duress or fatigue, then I don't want you guys to push it. We want to learn the technique, the motor patterns, and get your body neuromuscular ready to do these types of things at a volume clip. So this looks great. Like I am excited to see how many people finish this. You got the push-up choice. Then you're going to do your push-ups straight into the rower, which seems kind of irrelevant. It kind of is. Like I don't think it's really going to affect your ability to do your chest press, decline press, and tricep press until the later rounds, because as the row continues to get shorter, your break also continues to get shorter as the fatigue starts to pile up. So I'm excited about that situation kind of unraveling as we work our way through these 10 rounds. But either way, push-ups, row. First 4 rounds, you'll do flat bench, as aggressive as you can for the 8 to 10 reps. We just talked about that. And then you work your way down by 100 meters every single round. The rounds 5 through 7, which is only 3 rounds, you do the decline with as much weight as you can handle. I think once we start getting to like round 7-ish, the rests are going to start getting pretty short and unfavorable, and things will start to get a little bit dicier on the bottom half of this, round 7 to like 10. And then again, the tricep press, I like that being a movement that's not overly predicated on a particular weight, because like I said, I think the fatigue's going to be pretty eye-opening at this point. And people are going to need to just adjust weights and not feel the pressure of using weights that you use, week in and week out. And a tricep press isn't necessarily a movement that everybody has pinned on the top of their phone with like a weight that they 100% know, right? So it gives us some flexibility there. And if you do finish, you got the 40 dumbbell or ball cleans. It's a great kind of 180, push and pull go hand in hand. And with the rower, we are pulling. With all the chest movements and variations, we're pushing a ton. So those two counter each other fantastic. And then it's just really nice to do something else, switch modalities, and go over to something a little bit more explosive with these cleans or these Olympic lifts, opposed to just the stationary lift. So that's the regular class. Will everybody finish? I know that's always a popular question. I honestly would venture to say there will be some people that don't, but I do think the majority of people will finish this if you clock out your 5,500 meters. Urban Legend, so I wanted to explain this for the Urban Legend people, if anybody watches or has gotten this far into the video. Week 6 is still smooth, larger chunks, which is what this is. And how this is going to play out is week 7, you guys are going to start to see an opportunity to clock your splits on the individual lifts. So I'm going to give you a chance to do like the push-up chest press and just clock your split, get done as fast as you can. I'm going to give you a chance to do the push press, clock your split, right? I'm going to give you a chance to do the front squats and the bodyweight squats, clock your split, do all those fresh. And then have something, to do afterwards. And then week 8, you guys are going to see chunks of the Urban Legend. So you're going to see not just the lift, the clock your splits, but you're going to see like the aerobic in front of it, and then followed by the lift, and then the aerobic piece after it, and then you'll be able to clock your splits on those chunks of the Urban Legend before we roll out into week 9, which is a taper week. So my point is that by the end of week 7 and 8, you should have a really good sense and idea of what your splits and timing looks like for literally every piece of the Urban Legend, and hopefully be able to put it together and come up with a game plan come April 25th. So there is a plan here. Stick with me. Again, these 2 rounds, it doesn't look like much on paper, but this is a lot. So I didn't even put anything else around it. Like, I think doing 105 calories and a 1,650 meter run twice alone is a gigantic piece of time. Again, this is a scenario that I'm not looking for people to die. Like, that's not how this is supposed to go. Like, the goal is to get off, especially round number 1. Like, we want round 1 to be like super smooth. Like, you're getting through the chest press, the push-ups, you're coming off the bike and the run, of course, and everything just transitions well, right? Completely under control. Think of it as like 70% floor work, where 70% is challenging, but like it's not like crippling you. And then when you get to round number 2, there's a world where like you're trying to hold the exact same output as you did on round 1, but it might be very realistic that you drop like 5-7% output. And if you were at 70% prior, as an example, you're dropping down to like 65-63% type of output. So it still feels the same, although you are slowing down technically. We don't want to overly exert ourselves, because again, this is just a piece of the Urban Legend here, but it's the big pieces of it, right? So again, great opportunity for you guys to track splits, get an idea or a sense of how to approach these things, and that bike to run brick is fantastic practice for how the Urban Legend is going to feel. And honestly, I think this is probably harder than anything in the Urban Legend. So if you do this well, you should feel pretty confident with the coming weeks.